up, dude?
listeners, the family.
The fam bam alakazam. I don't know if we can call it the family. There's some connotations with that.
That's true. That's can anything be a family though, man? Man.
Here we go. The family surfer. Welcome back to Remain Rome Return, everybody.
Family, man. Like choosing the right wave.
Blood doesn't make family, man. Loyalty does.
Do, man.
Oh man, we are rusty. We haven't
related to Mother Ocean, man.
Mother Ocean. We haven't recorded in so long. This is as good as it's going to get to start out. Also, I know we're not even a minute in yet, and this is going to get flagged or whatever, but can we just go ahead and start off this podcast with a simple fuck ICE?
Well, of course, fuck ICE.
I would say it probably goes without saying at this point, but I don't think that's true anymore.
I love how shit's finally getting bad enough where like Damien is paying attention to stuff. And also like being like, hey, don't be we're not political on this, even though I think everyone knows our views at this point. If you don't, you can fuck off.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll just get into this because why the fuck not at this point? To go into more details, because I haven't even gone into details with you about the whole like no politics thing. I just always just say that.
Yeah.
The reason is because it's not that I don't keep up with the news. It's that I'm inundated with it.
Yeah.
And I get into very bad moods and it ruins a lot of my days, and I get worried about things and I get anxiety, and I feel like on this podcast, I want to do it for fun and be silly. And also I don't want to be the arbiter of other people's views. I don't want people to come here to see what's right or wrong.
That's
because I'm not the person to, tell people what to think or believe or anything like that. But I do have my own moral code and belief systems.
Crazy though that it's political just to be like, hey, don't kidnap people or murder them. Like,
yeah. And just blatantly lying and gaslighting people when the evidence is in front of us. People are not armed. People are not trying to, take out agents. The agents are just doing whatever they want with impunity.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start out with that. And I think the time for no politics might just be over at this point, and we're going to have to switch gears a little bit sometimes because, yes, I just want to be silly and have fun, but I'm also riddled with anxiety over a lot of this shit.
I think it's also of like, not like we have a fucking platform. Like we do love you listeners so much, but we're not necessarily moving the needle as some other big podcasters.
And the ones that are moving the needle sometimes, a lot of times, are, in my opinion, the wrong ones to be moving that needle.
Yep. But it's, I definitely had the same thought of like wanting to talk about it, and just being vocal sometimes helps other people be vocal.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. And I know me and my Abby were talking about it. I would say, like, I love Nebraskans. I love being from Nebraska, but we're also kind of shitty in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I would say Minneapolis and the Minnesotans are the best people of the Midwest.
Sure.
I would say of all the white people, I would say Minnesotans, for the most part, are the best of the Midwest.
And I don't know that we've ever given Minnesota its flowers in general. It's a great city. It's super fun.
Yeah, no, besides it being fucking cold, which is a lot, but it's, it's a very diverse city made up of many immigrants who have all, like, it's just always been a place of immigrants. Like Omaha, it's always just been a place of immigrants, and it wouldn't be the city it is without that. Like Omaha wouldn't be a city if it wasn't for immigrant, generally, but also like we've talked about on this podcast, South Omaha has always been a city, a part of Omaha that is for the most recent of immigrants, be it because of the jobs, but we will ignore that. But because of that, that's helped the city be an actual city.
California is literally Mexico.
It is.
It is literally Mexico. So it's just ironic.
The city you live in is, I think, Covina's got to be a Spanish word, right?
Probably. I'm not sure. But I mean, Los Angeles is not an English term. So
the City of Angels, which is like, when you think about it, a really fucking cool name. Like,
it is. Yeah. So anyways, I don't know how to make a difference. I don't know how to, other than voting or, stuff like that. But
I know voting, but also that does feel like I do that already. And it's just like, what else can we do besides, like, we're going to have to go full French. I think that's like full, like, French.
Which I'm down for.
Yeah.
Taking one of those big tractors with the, how that dumps cement.
Yeah.
And they just take a bunch of sewage and just dump that all over the politicians' houses and stuff. I think that's brilliant. So I'm down for anything like that.
It's,
again, I don't know how to be the harbinger of change. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but I feel like maybe at this point talking about it is something that we could at least get involved with a little bit more. Not for anybody else's sake too. I think that's one of the things that I want to make clear is I do feel like there's a lot of pandering sometimes when it comes to things like this, where it's like, well, I just want to say something so people don't think that it's not about that. It's not about saying things so that people don't get the wrong impression or silence is violent. It's just because I'm fed up and I'm legitimately terrified of what the implications are for all of this stuff. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know what else to do.
And I think it is terrifying because we do have friends who, if I were to look at them like, you're brown, I'm going to take you, even though they are U.S. citizens. Or like, I have some friends who are maybe were brought here as children, not the correct way according to our current administration, but like, they're good people. Like, they're not, they try to be like, oh, we're going after the criminals, we're going after rapists. Like, nope, you're going after the mom who is just trying to give her child a better life. Like,
and just to be clear, if you were going after the criminals and the rapists and the pedophiles, wouldn't we have released the Epstein files? Wouldn't we have justice for many, many cases that were, literally recorded in history against some of the most wealthy, powerful people?
Yeah.
It's not about that.
I would say, okay, conspiracy theory, not conspiracy theory, but like, this is a distraction from that, right? Like,
of course.
It's because we're like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And like, distraction. And
I just love the platform of running your campaign on releasing these Epstein files. And then when it comes time, you go, what Epstein files? There aren't, get over it. There's no Epstein files. And then finally you come across them and you go, oh no, there are actually Epstein files. We'll go ahead and release those. And it's all just black marks.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we, I don't know. I just find it very, very strange that, we've impeached people for getting quote unquote a consensual BJ from a consenting adult. And whether or not that's consensual, I don't know the whole backstory about that. But the fact of the matter is we have somebody who's getting impeached for things like that. And now we legitimately have somebody who is turning the military against U.S. citizens and is lying deliberately to our faces about this and is talking about not ending his term and just being in power for as long as he's alive. And we're just like, look, we just have to get through 4 years. That's what everybody said. We just have to get through 4 years. I'm like,
I don't think we're going to make it.
I don't think we're going to make it 4 years at this point. Yeah. And I don't think we should, to be quite honest with you. If this is the way the first year of this term is going, I don't think we should go another 3.
Yeah, it's you are very fortunate you live in the state of California for sure in some aspects versus Nebraska right now. It's
so it's just scary.
Yeah, no, stay safe out there, people. Do what you need to do. Um,
We're here for you. I can't say, like I said, I can't say that we can do anything about it, but you know, if we can help in any way, just let us know. But anyways, I am back from vacation.
Yes.
I did some traveling, and to no one's surprise, I got COVID 3 days in.
Jesus.
To be fair, I wasn't the first one who got sick this time.
Was Abby the first one to get sick?
She was. Did she fucking pass it to me?
Did you get like tested?
No, but
you just feel like it was something.
It was 99% COVID because of the symptoms.
That would make sense.
It wasn't just a cold with like a cough and a runny nose. It was like skyrocketing fevers up to like 101, 102 degrees, and then back down and then back up, you know. And really bad headaches, and I wasn't like coughing a whole lot, but I still had all that drainage into my lungs.
Yeah.
And TMI, but there was a couple of nights where, because I wasn't coughing very much, it was just settling in there, and I would cough like 2 or 3 days later, and it would just be like black phlegm.
Oh,
because it was just sitting in there for so long because I couldn't get it
baking,
couldn't get it out. Yeah, so it was bad news. I was sick, probably over 50% of the trip again.
What do you like? I guess I don't like with COVID. Are we just ignoring it now, or like,
you know? It's funny that you say that, because I was telling everybody at work and stuff when I got back that I had COVID while I was gone. And the first question I got, it wasn't like, "Oh man, are you okay?" It wasn't any kind of things like that. It was like, "COVID still exists?" Like, doesn't that just sum up the whole ethos of media? And it's funny that COVID, I almost said politics, because COVID was so crazy that it became political. But I was like, isn't that so funny that it literally shut down the entire world for years. And now people are like, what's COVID? What are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
Well, I know people have been still getting it. Maybe it's because like it's just not, people aren't dying anymore from it, because we like
allegedly
you either got the jab or you're dead. Like,
yeah,
I think that's kind of where we ended up being with it. Or you either, or you got COVID and you got the antibodies, so you survived. But I don't think we have any like, I guess I don't know what like the CDC, if the CDC exists anymore at this point, of like what do you just kind of do your day to day now? Like, you just like, well,
when you have COVID,
yeah, like are you just supposed to be like, yep,
I think you just supposed to wear a mask, stay home. Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I mean, the thing with things like COVID to remember, like, there isn't just one variant of any of these things. Like,
no,
just because you don't get the flu one year doesn't mean the flu doesn't exist. It mutates. It's ever growing, and that's the same thing with COVID. I mean, it's always going to be here. Now that it's here, we're not going to eradicate it. You know, it's still going to be around.
It's going to be like the bird flu.
It's just going to be a different version. You know, so yes, it's still out there. Yes, it still fucking sucks. But I was only sick for like 4 days, as opposed to a goddamn month.
That's true. Did you get the most recent booster?
No, I've just been sticking with my sticking with my flu shots.
Do you get those at work? Like
I can.
That's one thing I missed about like working for a bigger company, is like it would just be like, well, today's flu shot day.
Mm-hmm.
Go down to the lobby and go get a flu shot. And I do, versus now I'm like, ugh, I gotta schedule it with Walgreens. And
yeah, I can. I can just go to any of the clinics. I could always just walk in somewhere, but I usually just, because I belong to Kaiser. That's my health insurance. So you just walk into the front door, and it's just out in the waiting area. So I just, when I go in for my checkups for stuff, I just go grab one.
Yeah, it's super easy to get like a flu shot, and it's free for the most part if you got any health insurance. I think even if you don't have health insurance, it's free at this point.
I think it should be.
I think it's one of those things where there's like, okay, we need to just give this for free to have a healthy. It's cheaper in the long run to just do this than to worry about like it spreading.
Yeah, exactly. So
wait,
yep.
Were you on the cruise ship with it? Or you just holed up in your like little cruise room?
Yeah, the cruises, or as we call them, the incubators. But we went to Disney World first for 2 days.
Oh.
And the end of the second day is when Abby started feeling a little under the weather. But it's Disney World. What do you expect? I mean, the amount of people, the amount of grown men that I saw go into the bathroom, go to the stall, come out 5 or 10 minutes later and not wash their hands are
you're just, in the state of Florida. Like,
yeah.
You're also you went like, what was this, just after Christmas or just after New Year's?
New Year.
Okay. So it's still like kids are out of school. It's the busy time of Disney. So it's probably jam packed.
It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. We got in the second day. We got in the park like 30 minutes. We got to the park 30 minutes before it opened. We walked in, we were way back in line. So the park had been open maybe 30 minutes. We went straight to the Avatar ride, 2.5 hour wait.
Like, at a point, when does it like not become worth it to go to these theme parks?
It's getting there.
Like,
it's getting there.
Or at least during like, maybe during the off, like there really isn't an off season, but like, I know if like I ever go back to like Disneyland to come visit, it's going to be like middle of February, because I don't think there's any like school. We went during a terrible time because I think it was like spring break,
right?
And so that was on us for doing that. So I'm thinking like, or like maybe like, I think you mentioned like right before they like put up the Christmas decorations. It's pretty slow. So
yeah, before the holidays, right before the holidays is great, and then a couple weeks after the holidays.
Oh, I think you said good. Between them taking down the Halloween decorations and putting up the Christmas decorations. So like
correct,
early November.
Yeah, that's always a good one. Early to mid-November is good, and then late January, early February is good. But whether it's about the crowds or whether it's about the cost, you're looking down the barrel of two reasons why it's going to be very, very difficult to want to go back. Now, we do have tickets to Disneyland for like 3 different days, but it's because they were park hopper tickets, and there was a Southern California residence deal where essentially one park hopper paying for one park hopper day gets you 2 park hopper days for free.
Oh shit!
So we essentially buy one, get 2 days free.
Yeah, and with the amount of people who come to visit you, like you're gonna probably go to the park at least once a year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if not for that deal, I don't see us going.
I know. Me and Abby have talked about, because eventually, like, we're gonna want to take the baby to either one of Disneyland or Disney World at least once, and it's like, well, when do we do this where it's going to be the maximum amount where he's actually going to remember things?
It's got to be 5 or 6, right? Is that still too early?
Because then also you have to worry about like, what are the height limits for rides?
Oh, especially like the good ones,
the minimums, and so like,
I mean, can we just say 10? Is that fair? 10. That way they're big enough to do a majority of the rides, and they're old enough to remember all of it.
I think so. I was thinking, like somewhere between 8 and 10, where they're like, where they're not dicks yet, but still like will be appreciated, but also won't like cry if we go through the gift shop and not get everything.
Right. Old enough to be aware how cool it is, while also not throwing as many temper tantrums, hopefully.
And can walk.
Essentially, yeah. So 8 to 10, I think, is probably the perfect time to start taking kids to that. But that's a decade away, and who fucking knows what the world's going to look like in a decade at this point.
Or how expensive tickets are going to be.
Yeah. Or if Disney's even still there. Who knows?
Nah, Disney's too big. Too big now. Too big to fail.
We could be in a Zombieland situation.
in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's true. And Disneyland will still be going, baby. Where do you guys think the wealthy elites are going to go, man?
I would love to see a zombie Mickey. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I'm surprised they probably don't want to touch that like infringement of IP. Like, true. Actually, no, you can make Steamboat Willie a zombie.
That's true.
Because he's in the public domain finally.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or what's the first one? Is it Walter? No, not Walter. The original Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know, the black and white one, but not Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, the one right before just Mickey Mouse.
Called like Walter or something like that. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking of Walt Disney. I don't know. Anyways, the point is,
I guess I've never thought, is his full name Walter Disney?
Mm-hmm. Walter Disney.
That sounds way worse than Walt Disney. I get why he went by Walter.
Walt is a way cooler name.
Disney here. It almost sounds like the like Temu Walmart version of Walt Disney. Walter Mismy.
Walter Disney.
Walter Disney. Hello. My name is Walter Disney.
My name is Walter Dizzy. That's the off-brand. Anyways, so it was a full Disney vacation. The Airbnb that we stayed in Orlando was sick. I think I have some pictures that I'll upload, but it had an arcade built in the garage. The upper floor, I think the upstairs used to be a loft that they converted into a movie theater.
Ooh.
Which was really cool. They had like a billiards setup up there and foosball. And it was a really cool house. So I'll put some pictures up. So we did that for 2 days and then hopped on the newest Disney boat for a 7-day cruise.
I believe it's called a ship.
Ship. That's true. Boats are smaller.
Yes.
Talk about it. Yeah. So we did that. We went through the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, and then the Disney private island. So Tortola was
technically, I guess, what flag does the Disney private island fly under?
That's true. It's just a Mickey Mouse flag.
Like, it pretty much is its own government.
The supreme overlord.
But yeah, like who does it? It's not the U.S. probably for tax implications.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think because it's a private island, they probably just international law doesn't apply. I don't know.
Like Epstein.
Yeah. And boy, let me tell you, there's even more kids.
Jesus Christ. Disney just buys the island. It's like it already has all the kid stuff.
Yeah, it's already here. So it was fun. Tortola's awesome, which is which is the British Virgin Island.
Tortilla.
We did a tortilla. Yep. Tortilla. It was cool. So the island was only, I think, 12-ish square miles.
Yeah.
So we got off the ship and did a local tour guide tour of Tortola, private, just Abby and I. We went for a little hike, and there's all these fruit trees, banana trees, mangoes, all that stuff. There's like little forest crabs.
Ooh.
That are interesting. We saw random stray cows just walking up through the hills. That was fun. And then ate lunch at this really beautiful beachside resort.
You get the snapper?
I did not get the snapper. They had a weird menu. It was very strange.
Was it like one of those where it was like, one of the things I love about going to any like really like coastal, like beachy town or like an island is like, you never know what the menu is going to be. It's because whatever they caught that day. Like,
sure.
That's how you know it's going to be great.
This was not one of those. I agree with you, but this was not one of those. This was, they had pizza. They had like frozen pasta. They had fish and chips. It was essentially an Applebee's, but it wasn't about the food. It was about the ambiance. You know, so I'll throw some pictures, maybe some videos up.
What do you mean by the ambiance? Like we're talking about Rainforest Cafe style?
No, the ambiance of being on this beautiful, secluded beach.
Okay.
And there's just islands all over when you look in the distance, and the waves are coming up onto the shore, and it splashes, and it's like kind of hitting you while you're eating. It was just very, very romantic and beautiful.
I get that.
So that was fun. Really great tour guide, showed us around and was a local, and
was that
it was fun.
Part of like a cruise excursion, or did you guys like book this separately somehow?
Yeah, we booked it through Vrbo.
Okay.
Which is way cheaper than anything Disney was offering. And the Disney excursions on this itinerary were not very good. Yeah. So the next onshore day was the U.S. Virgin Islands of St. Thomas. Mm-hmm. And we just decided not to do any, we didn't pay for any excursions. We just walked out on our own and found a brewery, which was really, really nice. And then we walked around just the little port city there and came across a dispensary, grabbed a joint and walked around the city a little bit. And then Abby started freaking out and wanted to go back to the ship. So we went back to the ship and hung out in the hot tub in the pool while we were, stoned off our gourd, allegedly.
Now you were in I'm guessing, I don't know what the laws of the U.S. Virgin Islands are.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it was legal. We just walked in and grabbed it. Yeah. And we asked them, we were like, can we just smoke this anywhere? They were like, as long as you're walking, it's just like a cigarette.
No.
I was like, oh, cool. So we just walked around and smoked.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then, the last one was the private island of Disney, which is always a great time, just sitting around relaxing. However, I will say, Abby and I kind of went off on our own on the private island and picked a spot on the beach that was like way, way, way away from everybody. And we're just laying there relaxing. And all of a sudden we get surrounded by a bunch of families, and the amount of stress that was going on, we had to get up and move. We had a family to the right of us who was just arguing about everything.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to go back, you need to take my clothes because I don't want to. Well, I'm not going back if I have to take your stuff, like arguing all this stuff. And then the people who sat to the left of us, all of them had their phones on full volume. And of course, because we were back on land, everybody's getting their notifications.
Yeah.
And it was like, ding, 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 ding. I mean, it was 10 minutes of people yammering to our right and phones beeping and pinging for 10 minutes. And we got up and left. I was like, I can't. What's the point of this? We're on vacation and this is worse than being home. So
you're like, nice secluded beach. And then people come and ruin it.
Mm-hmm. And we were there for maybe 5 minutes before that happened. I was like, we picked the farthest place away from the ship, and these people just sat right next to us. There was hundreds of other places they could have gone. So that was frustrating. But to stay on the topic of being annoyed, I have a very important question to ask you.
Okay.
When you're on a flight and you are being relentlessly kicked in the back by a child.
I think that's just called Flying Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, you're probably very familiar with this.
Well, the seat's so uncomfortable, your butt's already numb, so you're not feeling any of that.
At that point, it may as well just be a massage, huh?
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowing to me. It is a 4.5-hour flight with this kid sitting directly behind me, mom sitting directly next to him. Mm-hmm. And he is not only like one by one kicking my chair, but he's got both feet also like leg pressing my seat forward and backward, forward for the entire time. And I'm looking back, and if I turn back to my left, I can make eye contact with the mom. And I look back and I'm staring at her, and she looks at me and just looks away. Like, you're doing nothing about this. Yeah. Absolutely nothing about this. So my question to you is, am I an asshole if I say something?
No, but I wouldn't have said anything and just later bitched about it to Abby.
What do you think I did?
Probably that.
Yes, you're right. I just gave her a couple of glances, but if I'm making eye contact with you and you can see that your kid's kicking me and you don't say sorry or stop, what's the point of me yelling?
I would be too. I've seen too many TikTok stuff now. I could see the mom being like, "This man yelled at my child. Please dox him. Make sure he loses his job." Because it sounds like that kind of like people. I don't fly very often anymore now, but also I'm like, I'm not terrified of like the plane going down or anything like that. People are terrifying now with flight. I don't know, all decorum's out the window. Like people are fighting the Delta checkout woman. Like,
yeah. And before we got on that plane where that happened, this lady tried to bring on 4 bags carry on, 4. And the person who checks people in was literally screaming at her because he was like, I don't know if this is your first time flying or if you're just being insulting at this point. It has always been a personal item and 1 carry-on. Yeah. You have never been able to bring on 4 bags. And she's like, one of these is a medical device. And he goes, I don't care what they are. You cannot bring on 4 things. You just can't. I don't care. And I loved it. I was like, please put some of these people in their place, because she was standing right where people were trying to get on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he's like, I need to check these people in. You either need to go check that or you need to book a different flight. Well, one of my bags is already on the plane. And he goes, that's why you have to be prepared. You know what I mean?
I think we need to give more empowerment to these people. Like, with airports, there are supposed to be the most like secure places imaginable. They're supposed to be like, you really should be on your best behavior with all this stuff.
I agree.
And people have somehow gotten worse.
And it's funny too, because I am of the opposite mindset of a lot of people, where they're like, this security at the airport is ridiculous. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Is it so hard to want to be protected when you're 30,000 feet up in the air, where you already have zero control of what's going on? You also want people to just be able to do whatever they want.
Have you met people?
I am fully on board with following all of the safety protocols for getting on an airplane. It's already scary enough.
Yeah, but everyone's like, it used to not be this way. Yeah, people used to have like decorum. Like, they used to follow the rules. But
people used to wear suits on a plane. Yeah. Now you wear your Cookie Monster PJs.
It used to be so expensive, you couldn't fuck around when you were flying. Like, and now it's like, which is good, of course. People need to be able to get, transportation and whatnot. But also, it's just like, have you been to a gas station lately? Those people fly on airplanes with you.
Exactly. But it's funny because I think having 1 carry-on and 1 personal item has been the rule since I was born, for at least 35 years.
I feel very lucky nowadays if I can even get my carry-on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know we've bitched about that before, but I still think that's fucking ridiculous.
Is there just not enough spots? Like,
why not? Your booking, dude, there is 1 seat per guest, and the rule is 1 carry-on per guest. Why isn't there space? I don't understand how that works.
Did they get rid of space?
I don't know. And you used to be able to put your carry-on item under your seat, but now if it sticks out even half of an inch, they don't let you put it down there.
That's probably because they took that 1 inch from every seat to put another row in.
Correct. It's just,
or to make a weird, not first class, but not business class. It's
luxury plus or something like that.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Economy plus is what it's called.
You get to keep that 1 inch of leg room.
We don't take that from you.
Yes. That's what the economy plus HBO Max plus seat you get.
Sponsored by Disney. So that 1 inch of space you used to have, now it's $100 extra.
Yeah,
so flying has become unbearable because of the greed of the airline companies. That much we can be certain of. It's also become unbearable due to the fucking people who are on these airplanes. I just think that being mad about the safety precautions is the least of our worries. Also, sack up and get TSA pre-check. I get through security in 35 seconds.
Yeah.
It's $75 for a year. If you hate the security that much, just go do that.
Or fly out of the Omaha airport. It's just
true.
Where there's nobody. I'm interested because, we have Keegan's wedding coming up here soon. So, of course, we have to fly. But we're taking the baby with us.
That's going to be interesting. I meant to talk to you about this.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out.
What are you between? Because if I'm not mistaken, babies under a certain age fly free, right?
Yep, he's 2 and under are lap seats. So I would probably take my baby carrier and put him in my baby carrier, like hangover style, Alan carrying the baby.
It's a satchel. Yeah, hey, there are Skittles in there.
God, that was a good movie when it came out.
It still is. It holds up.
Does it though?
It does. I mean, Hangover 1 is fucking hilarious.
I think it was so cutting edge, and then the other ones are like, "Hey, we're just gonna do the same thing over and over again."
Agreed.
Entirely.
So what? All right. So this is why I was asking. This is why I wanted to bring it up, because you're flying with a baby. Do you buy 2 seats and just keep passing the baby between you and Abby, or do you buy a third seat and keep some space so she sits in one, you sit in the other one, and then keep the middle free? But then that gets rid of the whole baby flies free.
Yes, so that would be because you would have to buy the seat, which would be an extra. I can't remember how many tickets.
$300,
$300 to $400.
And if we know anything about Christian, I think he would rather skip the wedding than pay an extra $400.
Hey, at least I am doing the room block hotels as you bitched about.
Hey, I booked those too.
I did, which says a lot about me, because I think I was like, if it was just me, I would book the Roach Motel.
Yeah.
But since I'm with Abby and the baby, I'm like, I have to make sure it's a safe place.
And to be fair, I did look at some of the cheaper motels and hotels around the area. It's still expensive.
Yeah.
It's still about the same price.
It's Phoenix during spring break time and also spring training baseball.
Yeah. We were wondering, actually, I'm glad you said that, because we were like, why the fuck is it so expensive to book a hotel? It's $400 a night anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
For like a Best Western.
Yes. $400 per night anywhere in the Phoenix area in March. It's insane, but that makes more sense.
Yep. It's a mixture of, that like, for sure the spring training for MLB, and then like spring breaks, and then fucking all the golf trips people go on.
Sure.
And so that's what I was like, oh, thank God for the room block. Like that is and that we're staying like on the eastern side of the Phoenix metro area, which is less busy.
So are you booking 2 seats or 3 on the flight? Yes,
we have booked 2 seats. I'm thinking, I haven't done it yet, I probably should, of doing like paying to make sure I get the seats I want to get situation of like probably window and middle.
Probably. Well, you don't want aisles, so you can get up and move around if you have to.
Ooh, that's a good.
Because you're gonna have to climb over somebody with the baby.
Yeah, that's true. But also with the window, you actually have like you don't have to worry about the baby crawling everywhere. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he'll just like pass out. Luckily, it's a direct flight, which
that's good for now.
Everything.
For now,
I hope so. Because we're also not flying into the big Phoenix airport. We're flying into the smaller one.
Oh, okay. Hopefully that's a direct flight then. Also, one of the things that you mentioned to me privately was that you were having some issues with the, like, obviously once you get there and stay at the hotel, you have to have a place for the baby to sleep.
Yes.
So I was thinking about this, and I was talking to Abby, and she proved a good point. You should call the hotel and ask them if they have a pack and play there. They usually do.
So I have looked into that, and a lot of people are like, don't do that.
Why?
Because usually the pack and plays are like sketchy. Even people who, like, I was on a Reddit like thread about it, and people are like, yeah, don't, like, I work at a hotel, don't do that.
Interesting.
Because I did look into that. And
it's just a dog cage.
Essentially. It's just one of those plastic ones with like the door at the front.
Yeah.
And so, yes, no, I'm doing the not very good for the environment thing. Actually, I don't know which way is better for the environment, but
at this point, I think we are the least responsible for anything about that.
Because to check a bag, or to check, something for a flight is $35 each way, so $70. So if I did check our pack and play is not even worth worth $70.
No,
I'm just gonna go pick up one while we're in Phoenix, and then
just stop at Walmart.
Yeah, and then be like, here, a hotel, you can keep this for your pack and play situation.
And then nobody's going to use it because they heard that you shouldn't do that. It's a brand new pack and play used once. Yep. They're like, I think we shouldn't use that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's, and we're still like debating. I think Abby's still like trying to be like, is it better for if I just go by myself or, if they come with me or not? And,
I'm sure Abby could use a little getaway, even if it's.
But also she had a really good point of like Saturday with the wedding. It's just going to be like her and the baby most of the day because I'll have to be, doing wedding stuff.
Sure.
And so it's just like, she's like, do I want to do that in Phoenix?
Wait, are you guys still on the fence about it?
I think so. As of like today or yesterday.
Yeah, because what's worse, flying all the way to Phoenix to have 1 day of responsibility with the baby or having 4 full days of responsibility. But then I guess you could utilize the parents as well.
Her mom would for sure. Like
that's true.
Essentially probably would stay the night here. Equivalent,
yeah.
Like if Abby asked kind of thing.
That's true. So. That's a good point. Yeah. Sure. Speaking of paying for things like checked bags and stuff like that. Ooh, I got to tell you, on the way to this trip, because Abby and I always pack light. We travel light nowadays because it's the situation where it's like, if it's just us two and it's not a cruise, we don't want to be hauling things back and forth and dealing with all the, anyways, because it's a cruise and you can unpack because you don't have to pick up and go.
Yep.
We brought a suitcase. The suitcase was 3 pounds over. And it was $100.
I would have just started fucking the meme of Joey from Friends with all the clothes on.
Yeah.
I would have just started putting things in my pockets.
But it's one of those things where we took inventory of everything that we had in there. And it's like, I'm not going to just start tossing things because it's none of this stuff is really tossed. We didn't bring things that aren't necessary. Yeah. We just brought some extra clothing because we're like, we need some fancier things for the fancy dinners. Yep. We can't just walk around in t-shirts and shorts the whole time, And so the lady was insistent. She was like, take some time and dump some stuff. And I was like, look, lady, we've got 3 bottles of liquor hidden in here.
Oh,
in these secret containers. That's what's throwing us over by 3 pounds.
I bet if
that's what it is.
If you took out one, it would. But also, I guess doing the cost benefit was probably worth $100, wasn't it?
I would say so because we actually spent less money on this cruise than we ever have.
Because you brought your own booze,
and we always do. We always bring our own booze, but we didn't. We brought more of it, and we didn't actually because sometimes we bring our own booze and still drink the cruise drinks.
Yeah.
And this time I really didn't do that much except for at the Haunted Mansion pub.
Because it's a special kind of thing.
Exactly. But yeah, it was great.
What is your tips and tricks to get on a cruise?
To get in the booze on?
Yeah.
They have these X-ray proof canteens that you can get. I'll put a picture up here. X-ray proof. So it's like a plastic see-through canteen, like a pouch almost.
Yeah.
And you funnel the booze in. And what we do is after we funnel it in, you press all the air out, screw on the lid, and then you fold it into a shirt.
Okay.
And so I put it there and then you put it into the center.
Okay. So they x-ray your back. That's how you see stuff. Because I've seen people do the mouthwash one.
Yeah.
Before. And so. Okay.
Mouthwash is fine, I guess, but mouthwash isn't brown. It's always like blue,
That's true. Yeah, I've seen people do it where they take like vodka and then they put like food coloring in the vodka.
Now that's also a good trick that you can do. But generally a bottle of liquor doesn't fit into a bottle of mouthwash.
That's true.
we wanted the full bottle. So these are legitimately, what is it? 350 milliliters, right? Is that a bottle?
750.
750. So it fits exactly 750 milliliters. So you dump the bottle in there, you fold it into a shirt, you pack like jeans first, then a couple other shirts, then a shirt with the booze in it. Mm-hmm. And then you stack stuff on top of it so it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Because if you put it down at the bottom or up at top, it's pretty easy to find.
But okay.
And again, it's not for the plane, because the plane doesn't give a shit. You can bring bottles of liquor on a plane. Mm-hmm. You just can't bring bottles of liquor onto the cruise.
In a checked bag.
In a checked bag, right.
More than 3 ounces.
You're like double fisting it, walking on. Sir, you only get 2 carry-on items, okay?
You're just really hitting up the duty-free section.
Duty. So yeah, that's my tips and trick. I'll put the picture of those in there. If you're ever going on a cruise, it is the best way to not spend $1,000 on alcohol.
Jesus, that is. So it was worth not tossing them. Is essentially what
it was. Saying. So it was $200 total, because we were still over on the way back.
Because you bought stuff.
Because we bought stuff. Also, rest in peace to my white Jurassic Park hat.
It's called a Panama hat.
Yes, Panama. Yeah, it's actually a Panama Jack hat. So it made it all the way to the Disney private island before I had to throw it away. And then I was excited because I was like on the private island.
Why'd you have to throw it away?
After all the traveling, it's all mushed and like it's got creases, and the little white or the black strap that goes around it was broken off. So it was like flapping in the wind. And so I was like, shit. All right, I got to throw this out. But then I was excited. I was like, coming back onto the cruise, you can stop at the little gift shops on the private island. I was like, I'll pick up one here. Well, by the time we were walking back, everything was closed.
Oh.
So I don't have a Panama Jack hat anymore.
You have to get one. I don't know where.
Amazon. Rest in peace, Panama Jack, Jurassic Park hat.
That had been through a lot of places then, hadn't it?
Yeah, it's been with me for a couple years, or at least a full year now of travel.
Yeah.
So it's seen more of the world than most people have. And now it's sitting in a trash can on Castaway Cay, which is where I would like to be at this point. Put me in the trash in Castaway Cay.
Can you imagine the smell of that trash, like just baking in the sun, like a half-eaten fish stick in there?
Where do you think that trash goes?
It might go to a different island, or they might burn it.
It goes to Puerto Rico.
It might. Disney's not keeping it.
Hell no. They just incinerate it probably, huh?
Or throw it in the ocean.
I don't know where it goes once I put it in the ocean, but it goes away. It's cool.
International water, it makes part of that, like that plastic island or whatever they call it.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that too. I've had this thought since I was very young, but I was like, with all of the recyclable, like plastic, aluminum, all that shit, they always mash it into squares anyways? Can't you just build islands and homes and shit with that?
You could. It's just too expensive of a process.
I mean, we're doing it anyways.
They make like playground equipment out of like old recycled bottles.
Yeah, so why don't we just build islands and houses with that? Have a stinky house.
They would clean it. It's probably just not cost effective. I don't know why we don't, like, house made out of plastic can't work well, or else would be doing them already, I feel.
I don't know. It's got to be better than those sheet metal trailers.
Sheet metal holds up pretty well, though. Like, metal holds up well.
Yeah. But I think with the plastic, you're condensing it so much that it's got to be 6 inches thick of plastic.
They make sheds out of plastic. But I guess
I mean, everything's made of plastic at this point.
We're made out of plastic, man.
I'm 50% plastic, baby.
All in our ball sacks and stuff.
Who needs a condom anymore? It's all made of plastic.
I feel like it's a Joe Rogan-esque comment.
The taints are shrinking. Everyone's taints are shrinking. This is a real problem. All these microplastics.
Jamie, pull that up. Pull up my balls with plastic in them.
Jamie, pull up taints. Do it. Do it now. Use our AI generator to pull up taints. That's how I get my information.
Grok says taint rhymes with paint.
And so both are made of plastic and fossil fuels. All right, I think that's enough for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
We're ending it on taints.
We're ending it as all good podcasters do. We are ending this
tainted.
This episode is sponsored by Taints
and fuck ice.
Ultimately, fuck ice.
And release Epstein files.
And release the Epstein files.
Bye.
Taint.